Good morning, my friends. It is January 20th, 2021. Very important day to our American cousins to the south. But it's also a very important day for me in my family for a couple reasons. First reason is kind of sad. The first reason is really sad. And the second reason is quite happy. So like everything in life, I don't know if you've experienced this or not, but in my life, I've experienced that everything comes linked together with its opposite. Almost everywhere I look, I see paradoxes. The yin and the yang of life is an ever-present companion to me. Sometimes it's not much of a companion. Sometimes it's an annoying thing when you're enjoying something too much and you just feel you have that sense that it's all going to come to an end and there might be something bad. And then it's also that knowledge and understanding that even the bad things don't last forever as well. That those eventually pass, and sometimes what happens after something that's pretty dark is some light comes in. There's a lot of light coming in this morning through the window. January 20th is my cousin Sean's birthday, my deceased cousin Sean's birthday. He died in 2017, and it was really sad that he died so young. Obviously, he had a lot to give. He had a lot left to do. He had a lot of work that he never got to finish, and he was taken way too early. And this is his birthday. Today is his birthday, so he gets called to mind automatically on his birthday for two reasons. For a couple reasons, actually. The first reason is that it's also the day that we call it Lachlan, my son. It's like his second birthday. So he was born on the 15th. On the 19th, he had a surgery to repair the hernia that was in his stomach, in his chest cavity, basically to move all his organs down below his diaphragm and sew his diaphragm back up so that he could develop his lung and he could grow and he could become a real boy. And that happened on the 19th, which would have been 2 years ago yesterday. And the 20th represents a couple things for Lachlan. It was his original due date. So he was supposed to be born on the 20th, but he came a little bit early because my wife was induced. So that's special because it was, we found out, obviously, after Sean had passed away that we were pregnant with Lachlan. When we found out that we were pregnant with Lachlan, we didn't know about his condition right away. And when we got his, when they projected out his due date, it landed right on Sean's birthday. So, that actually, do you know what? When they projected out his due date, it was at the appointment when we were told about his diaphragmatic hernia. It was at 20 weeks. And so they did the calendar thing and they projected out his due date, and it landed right on Sean's birthday. And to me at the time, we had been struggling to get pregnant, which people ask me why I'm so open about that. I've talked to Katie about this a million times, and she thinks it's important that people know that we struggled, that we had several failed pregnancies before Lachlan came along. And then Lachlan comes and everything seems to be going fine, and we get hit with this news about his diaphragmatic hernia, that he's going to need surgery, and we had no idea what that meant. But I'll tell you one thing: if you are at your 20-week ultrasound appointment right now and they're telling you that your child has a diaphragmatic hernia, do not look that up on the internet. It will not give you anything good at all. You just talk to the doctors about your specific situation, because the information that we read about on these stupid forms of, I don't even think they're people trying to help. I just think they're people just being ridiculous. And if you look at our son now, look at him. He's a beautiful, happy, healthy young boy. Everything worked out fine. I know it's not that way for all CDH babies, but all I can tell you is just don't go on those forums and start reading stuff. That's what we did. That's what I did anyway, and I couldn't, obviously they say not to do that, and they even told us not to do it, but you do it anyway. So anyway, point is, after all this rambling on, I want to get back to the have a baby. He's going to be born. It's going to be complicated. We've already had several lost pregnancies. So it's like one more time, like what's going to happen with this one? And we had our 20-week appointment, and there have been times where I have felt Sean's presence in ways that I can't explain, but it's something that does happen. And what a nice thing it was to find out that Lachlan's due date was going to be on Sean's birthday. It's almost like, he was kind of saying in a way, I'll help you out with this one, or however you want to read into that, that's up to you. I know how I read into it, and it was a very special moment for me and for Katie to learn that Lachlan might have been born on his due date. Now, he wasn't born. On Sean's birthday. He wasn't born on Sean's birthday. He was born on the 15th, a few days before Sean's birthday. And, but what did happen is he had his surgery on the 19th. He stabilized so quickly. Everyone thought he was doing so well, or everyone observed that he was doing so well. He was able to stabilize quick enough that he could have his surgery just a couple days after he was born. So on the 4th day of his life, he actually had his major surgery, which was great. And it was in the afternoon, and he came back. Actually, he came back in the afternoon. I can't remember what time of day he went to, so I think it might have been 11 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, he came back in the afternoon, and then he had to restabilize, and then it was all about him making sure that everything was going to be okay with the surgery, nothing went wrong, and his first poop was a big milestone because his bowel had been up in his chest, so they had to pull all his bowel down into his stomach cavity, and then they had to wait to find out, like, did we tie it in a knot by accident? Not that Dr. Davies would have ever made a mistake like that, but there's that question of, is the bowel going to function exactly the same way that it was when it was up in the chest? Now that we shoved it down into where it's supposed to be, is everything going to be fine? So we anticipated his first poop with a lot of anticipation, and there's a photo actually of our nurse Misa holding up his first poop. Which might sound weird, but to us it was awesome. It was vindication. It was verification that his bowel had been put into the right spot, and the repair was holding, and he was going to be able to function like a normal boy in that regard with his bowel. And that was question number 1 solved. Right? It was great. Milestone number 1 achieved. Again, I keep going off on tangents, but the point is that the 20th, the next day, Sean's birthday, well, that represented his first 24 hours with a full belly. With everything in the right spot, basically. So, it always comes to mind automatically. Sean's birthday and my son's first full belly day are the same day. And that's very special to me, because it's another one of those things of perhaps my cousin saying, hey man, like, I'm going to help you out with this one. I feel sad that Sean never got to meet his nephew. I call Lachlan Ashley, Sean's sister. I call Lachlan Ashley's nephew because we're more like brother and sister than we are like cousins. That's how close we are. So I do feel sad that he never got to meet his nephew, because I think that they would get along very well. And Ashley's daughter, he would have been a great uncle, and he would have been a great dad. He was, like I said, he was taken away too early, and he had a lot left that he was supposed to do. And so for those things I don't understand, those are the questions that don't compute with me. They don't make any sense at all. Especially if you met Sean, you'd know exactly what I was talking about. So one more thing I wanted to mention was my blood type and my wife's blood type are different than the blood type of my son. And my son has the same blood type as my cousin Sean, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to say it because, I don't know, maybe there's some privacy stuff I shouldn't shouldn't do, but that's pretty cool, I think. I don't really know how that works, how it happens that I figured that he'd have the same blood type as at least one of us, but he doesn't. We both have a different blood type to Lachlan, and he shares a blood type with my cousin Sean and my cousin Ashley too. Actually, they have the same blood type. So there's something there as well. So there's all these things that happen. I can't explain them all. I can't explain any of them. But I feel like the NICU for me was a wake up. It was someone tapping me on the shoulder saying it's time to start paying attention to the things I've been trying to show you. And I just want to say that to that person, wherever you are, I'll keep looking, man. I'll keep trying to figure it out. I don't know if I'm gonna, but I'm not gonna stop. And I just want to say happy birthday to my cousin Sean. And I wish you were here, man. I miss you every single day. And I just I hope that you're in a place that where we get to see each other again. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow.